Yeah, I'm the boss.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl, Allie Pub, and we are back for episode number 6 of My Dope Monday, alright? Remember, DOPE stands for Dream Out Past Expectations, alright? Because we're going to bigger and better things in 2015, alright? Today we are going to talk about one of my favorite Bible characters, another one. I know y'all like the breakdown of Job. Y'all got to understand how I read my Bible, okay? Me and God got our own thing going on. But the thing about it, today we're going to talk about David. All right, David was a youngin' just like us. He was cool. He was dope in his own way, right? So I'm going to break down the story on how I get it, all right? The story takes place in 1 Samuel chapter 17. And basically, it's crazy because it's a story of evolution, right? So the thing is, at the time, just to give you a little background, at the time the Philistines were at war with the Israelites, all right? And there's this dude named Goliath. We gonna call him Big G though, right? And he daily challenged all of the soldiers to like a mano fight. Like, let's get it. I'm ready. Try me. Let's go so I can knock y'all out. And they was like, no, fam, we straight. And so one day, David was going to visit his brothers on the front line. And he heard about the challenge. And so he goes to walk on to King Saul and was like, look, King, this is what I'm trying to do or whatever. I think I can knock out Goliath. I don't know. I feel pretty confident. And King Saul was like, all right, I'll let you do it. And so David accepted the challenge. And he went on in the name of the Lord, accepted the challenge, took his staff in his hand, chose 5 smooth stones from the water and put them in his shepherd's pouch, right? The sling was in his hand, and he headed on to Philistine, right? And so the question is, why did he have 5 stones, right? And I think this is going to be something real good. So 5 stones, 5 lessons, all right? So here's back to the story. David was facing a challenge that he never had faced before. You know what I'm saying? The fate of the army of Israel was in his hands. Either David could be the GOAT, Michael Jordan style, greatest of all time, or he could be the loser. And so he was struggling internally, like, what's really gonna be good? I did this challenge. I should have said no, I wasn't ready. But he had to get ready, right? And so with that, he tried on King Saul's armor, right? And so, of course, the king, he's huge, he's big, he's an adult. Dave's this little, teenager, whatever. He put on the armor and it did not fit. So he's like, oh, God, this don't fit, the sword too big. I'm going to just keep my rocks. And so he went on away, about his rocks. And so with that, still asking myself, why did he need 5 rocks? And so the thing about it, David had did his homework. Little did we know, right? Guess who had a posse? Big G, Goliath. He had 4 brothers. And so David was like, look, if I go to knock this man out and his brothers come try me, I'm going to have 4 extra, 1 for each of them, right? And so he had did his homework, so he was prepared. And with that, I learned something real, just a little quick little nugget. You always got to be ready. Always. Worst case scenarios, you don't never know what's going to take place. But you got to believe in yourself enough to know that you can sustain because you prepared, right? Because you did your homework. And so the thing about it is, David did what he could do to ensure his own competence in the face of a challenge. He picked up 5 stones because he did his homework and he was prepared. So my question to you before we get into these lessons that we're going to learn is, what do you do when you're faced with your challenges in life? Do you got 5 stones? After these lessons, you're going to want them, all right? So the story of David and Goliath intrigues anybody who reads it, right? A young man who never fought a war in his life, didn't have no background, no credentials, doggone. He was just like ready to go. And he knocked out the giant that everybody feared and was like the man when he walked through, Rich Homie style. Okay, maybe not really. And so the thing about it, 5 lessons that I learned is that the Lord can call who he wants to call. The first lesson to me, it holds so much truth, is because you don't ever know like who God can use to be his instrument. You know what I'm saying? When King Saul saw David walk up, he could have just like shoot him away like, little boy gone somewhere. You ain't even like about that life. But he gave the boy a chance, you know what I'm saying, to prove himself. Lesson number 2, better than might, right? the Lord basically, he had David's back. And being on the Lord's side makes you a lot stronger than anybody else's side, right? Number 3, the Lord prepares his servants. Each small challenge that we face and beat, really, prepares us for bigger and better things. And sometimes prepares us for the bigger storms. If we can pass the little stuff, think about when something big come on, it's just like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Number 4, be yourself. This was my biggest lesson that I learned from this story. When you honor who you are and don't pretend to be something that you're not, that's when you'll be successful. Real talk. Because the thing about it is, when David put on, it was 1 Samuel chapter 17:39. He said, I can't go in with these. I haven't proved them. I had walked in this armor. This ain't even mine. It don't even fit, fam. Like, this ain't me. I'ma just keep my rocks, right? And number 5 is to know your weapons, all right? Be familiar with them and ready to use them. Know what your strong points are. Know what you coming in the building and walking into the room with, because what you got, somebody else ain't got, right? And so that's really my thing. I just love the fact that he trusted in God so much that he felt like he could go against a giant and knock them down. And so I think about the giants that I deal with on a daily. I deal with crazy folks on my job. I deal with my family. I have some crazy friends. And I deal with myself above all. I'm my biggest giant sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because I put so much on myself to kind of push myself to go bigger and go harder. And some of the time, like, I discourage myself. I'm my own giant. So I'm telling you, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Don't be your own giant. You don't want to knock yourself down. You're supposed to pick yourself up to be able to pick somebody else up, all right? So I encourage you to go read the story, man. Because at the end of the day, it goes back to what the topic is. It's the power of one. And although David had all them stones, he had 5 stones. Because he was ready. He only had to use one. All right? So think about your one stone. And that's all I got. Beto, and I'm out.
Yeah, I'm the boss.